Grand Solar Flash Update, August 18th, 2024. Earth is experiencing a massive frequency upgrade. Huge amounts of negativity have been cleansed. 5D is coming for Earth and nothing can stop it. Hello, my fellow human light beings. This is Mahadeva, the Thunder Wizard. Well, we had a big live guided meditation on Wednesday. It was so powerful. You can go back and watch it and or do it. It's recorded on the live, under the live portion of the Thunder Wizard YouTube channel this past Wednesday. And I not only had a huge experience, but a lot of other people are having huge experiences and have come to similar conclusions as I have. So what happened for me right after that Wednesday live guided meditation, the next day I woke up and I was wiped out, completely I was just out of it. And then I found as the day went on that I was having very pronounced pain in very specific energy points on my abdomen. And that was very concerning. But I did some research on it and I found out that the specific point had to do with merging energy into what's called Shen, which is spirit. And it was at a point that had to do with resolving ancestral attachments and karma and all of these kinds of things. And so it felt as though that energy point had just been like blown out, like a circuit had blown out. So I've been taking some time off. I did not do a guided meditation last night. Instead, what I did is I shared some things that have been shared with me about myself and about what is coming that I haven't shared with anybody because it's just been too fantastic. And I shared everything with you guys in terms of the major stuff about myself, because I came to find out that other people were getting unique to them but very similar kinds of messages, as amazing and fantastical and unbelievable as the ones I was getting. And so I really do now have a greater understanding that this awakening to 5D is not just awakening to a higher state of being, peace and love and all of that. You're also awakening to who you were before you incarnated. And as I've said before, my experience has told me that human beings are now able to experience in their incarnated state, they are able to experience a level of awareness of themselves that currently, up until the current time, has been impossible. That normally when the only time that you could have the level of remembrance of self, you would have to leave this body and not come back. People who have had near-death experiences, they leave their body, they go, they meet with their guide, whoever that is, they have a life review, and then they're told, if you go beyond this gate here, you'll expand into, even more whatever, amazing stuff, but you can't go there and go back. So you have to decide, do you want to go back or do you want to go beyond and expand? And so obviously the people who come back have chosen to come back. They had a near-death experience. They wanted to keep their life going. And they had never gone to that place. Well, I now know what that place is because I've been there. Not only that, but other people are having this same experience as a result of doing the interdimensional meditation. So what's on the other side of that portal that most people never get to go beyond and come back to the third dimension is the awareness of who they truly are. And who you truly are is far beyond anything you could have imagined. It is everything that you've seen in fantasy movies, little kids' fantasies. You're a divine, a deity. You're a god. You're a creator of universes, a creator of worlds, and you live in multiple dimensions. And so now we're being given the opportunity to access that. And the reason for that is because this third dimension is being deleted. And so, in any case, I want to stay on topic here. We are experiencing a massive frequency upgrade. So, as I said, I've been taking things easy energetically. I'm going to the gym and surfing and, staying physical in 3D. But I've been staying hands off on doing the energy work because this particular, meridian that got blown out is one that is used in higher dimensional energy practice and, ethereal meditation. So it means that needs to heal. But I had an interesting experience today, which was that I got up today and I went surfing. It was great. I'm in Florida, and there's a hurricane out in the Atlantic, so we've got amazing surf, which Florida doesn't get amazing surf all that often. And so I've been enjoying that for the past couple of days. But I noticed that today, my mind didn't go into its normal negative, self-shaming, the worry, the normal 3D garbage that comes into our brains, which I have to put a lot of effort into to move beyond. And I've just gotten used to this, and I came to the realization that something felt different, and it's like I didn't feel super like buzzed and high. Now I've had those experiences as well, where I've shifted up to higher dimensional places of bliss and joy, but then you come back down. It wasn't that. I didn't feel like I was super blissed out or a lot of DMT in my brain or anything like that. It's like and then I realized that what was happening is just that there was a lack of negativity, that there was like a big chunk of negativity had been removed. Now, time will tell how long that lasts. The other thing I've come to realize is that if I, as the day has gone on, I know that we're receiving a lot of solar radiation that's hitting us. Now, up until a few days ago, whenever we have a solar storm, I know what it is. I know it's higher vibrational radiation that's seeking to shift us up, because we are going through the solar flash experience. I was told a couple of years ago when it started that the solar flash was a series of solar waves that shifted us up. So I know that I can tell when I get hit with that, because I get a lot of energy, but I also get feelings of anxiety. And if I'm not careful, my brain will start really going in. And what's happening is my 3D brain is fighting against the higher dimensional shift. I've just gotten used to it, and I know how to work through it. I relax into it. But what I noticed today was that I could feel the energy. I could feel higher dimensional solar energy hitting me. And it wasn't giving me any feelings of anxiety. And I realized that my body and my mind wasn't going through its normal resistance. And, put two and two together, this big major, energy blowout, this shift that happened for me on Wednesday, means that something has been eliminated. Now, this was my intention during our live guided meditation. Now, I don't plan out where we're going to go in these, in case you're not familiar with it, every Wednesday and Saturday, live guided interdimensional meditations. Again, you can find it on the live tab on my channel. I don't plan that out. Sometimes I have a general idea of where I want to go or what I want to do, but most of the time I don't make any plans. And this was a really intense and amazing one, and it had a lot to do with love and unity with the divine and rainbows everywhere, and all kinds of really wonderful stuff like that. And a lot of people have been getting back to me that they had huge experiences. So I know physically my body has said without a doubt this was a major shift. And other people who I trust have come back and said there was a huge shift that happened, and I've had this feeling that's popped up over the past few days, that the world's about to shift. Be prepared that details in reality are going to start to come out differently. In fact, I've come across a couple of new Mandela effects, which I don't think existed a few days ago. So the Mandela effect, by the way, just to let you know, the Mandela effect is, as you know, according to physics, that matter, all matter, is constructed based on our expectations, desires, and observations. And what scientists have proven, which doesn't make any sense to them, but they've proven it through experimentation, is that when you look at matter at its smallest, you look at the smallest aspect of light as it's going through, being observed in the experimental process. I'm sorry, I'm very loopy right now, so words are escaping me. Having a 5D moment here. So when light is looked at, and you look at it to see if it's an electron, it shows up as an electron. If you don't look at it to see if it's an electron, it'll show up as a wave. But when you have the expectation to look at it to see if it is a particle, if it's a light particle as opposed to a wave, what'll happen is when you decide to look at it, it will change itself and become a particle. But it'll do more than that. It will go back in time, all the way to the beginning of the universe, and change history so that it will always look as though it has been a particle the whole time, even though just a few nanoseconds ago you were seeing it as a wave. The moment it looked at you and went, "Oh, you want me to be a particle? Hang on, let me go change the past. I'll be right back." Boom, I'm now a particle. I always have been. Look at the past and it'll be proven. So the Mandela effect is a shift in what we perceive to be the past. The past doesn't exist. Even stuff that's dug up out of the ground, again, it's just matter that transforms itself based on our intentions. So I'm finding that new Mandela effects are popping up that never existed. Didn't exist a couple days ago, a week ago. Perhaps it's possible I just wasn't aware of them, but I'm pretty sure they didn't exist. If that's true, it means that we are shifting in a faster way. We're having a greater shift, which means the past is adjusting based on that. So that's a long-winded way of saying we're going through a big shift. Huge amounts of negativity have been erased. I can feel it. And I don't think I even fully appreciate how massive the shift is that we accomplished in these meditations. I've come to the conclusion that everybody, which would absolutely include the people who are doing these live guided meditations, that everybody on Earth is a starseed. The only people who get to Earth are massively huge deities in the multiverse. The beings out there who are just coming into existence or learning, they're on the beautiful planets. They're not going through the difficult times. So it's the opposite of what you've been told. What we've been led to believe is that Earth is a punishment and karma is a punishment, and when you achieve enlightenment, you won't have to come back here. But the truth is, the souls that come here are the most advanced, because they're the ones that can handle the tremendous pressure of being here. And what is happening is, as human beings are waking up, the definition of a starseed is somebody who's waking up to their higher dimensional self. And we call ourselves starseeds because we become aware that we've had lives on other planets and other galaxies and other dimensions, and that we've chosen to come to Earth to help the shift along. Well, that's true with every human, and it only gets activated when they awaken or choose to awaken. Many will not choose to awaken. I know of people in my life who I know are very, very powerful starseeds. And as of yet, they have not chosen to awaken. In fact, they've resisted. The awakening has come to them and they have pushed it away. So some people will push away the awakening. And just before this video, I did a little bit of work and I asked, what's happening right now? And what I saw was like bands of very high frequency energy, which looked like rainbows, was going around the Earth, and it was snaking its way and penetrating some people and waking them up. And so you got a group of people, and like popcorn, some people are waking up and seemingly randomly. And what's going to happen is that this is going to continue. More and more of this energy is going to be, the people who are open to it will hit them and it will wake them up. And then what's going to happen is that human beings are going to start to shift even further apart. And so when that happens, this means that the frequency shift will happen. So anyway, time, of course, will tell, but I can feel very powerfully that a major shift is currently underway. And the feeling that I get is that the dark force elites, they're losing their grip on everything. I mean, all of the things that they're trying to do are failing miserably and are transparently ridiculous. I mean, I could go into detail about what's happening in this presidential election, the craziness, the farce that's going on. But I don't want to get political, because people have been asking me, people have been trying to get me to, try to nail me down to, where am I at politically? And I'll tell you, I don't vote. And the reason why I don't vote is, number one, the system just doesn't work. Even if you had the right candidates, even if there weren't, elites who have corrupted everything, even if the whole thing wasn't a complete sham, the political mechanism doesn't work. So I don't vote. Plus the fact, I don't think it matters for a bunch of reasons, and I don't think that elections are done fairly. So, but I'm beyond that. I'm not looking to get another person into office and hope that they'll, restore, our current system. I want to get rid of the whole thing. I want to wipe the whole thing out. So that's where I'm headed in my mind. Living in a place where we live connected to natural law, which is the law of spirit. And we don't have to have any external things to connect us to anything. So that's where I'm going. I'm headed, my mind is already wanting to create, a perfect 5D world. So anyway, I'm babbling a little bit, but I just wanted to check in with you. Something is absolutely happening. Something has happened. And I hope that you are having an easier time. I went through a period of pretty intense physical pain. Other people have been having similar things, a lot of physical pain popping up. And so, we could talk about the energetic causes of that, and you'd be right. But underneath that is resistance to higher frequency consciousness. And bear in mind that the shift from 3D to 5D is a death. And we have to let go. We have to release our attachments. And, if you're experiencing a lot of physical pain and or psychological, emotional pain, anxiety, fear, anger, sadness, if you're going through that, what that means is that your 3D self-preservation mechanism is kicking in, and it's trying to create problems so that you will become more attached to the third dimensional way of life. So you have to die to that. And I have a lot of hope now, because up until this point, I've felt a lot of inner resistance, and I've worked hard to act contrary to that. And that's really all that you're required to do, is just to make the conscious decision to go towards what consciousness is, and drop the fear, drop the victim mentality, drop the anger, and take actions out of feelings of trust for the universe, love for other people, and continuing to reach out to our higher dimensional family, who's absolutely reaching down and wanting to help pull us up to where they are. And I think that is exactly what's happening right now. So anyway, I'm just kind of repeating myself, but I just wanted to check in with you. Something huge is happening. My body's still recovering. Thankfully, it's not getting in my way physically, but I can touch, and those, that particular meridian path is very tender. So my body is healing, my energy pathways are healing, and as they are, I am finding myself in a higher frequency, and it gives me a lot of hope. So something's coming. Maybe 2024 is the year. We've been hearing that. I'm not a prophet. I don't really buy into anybody who makes predictions. Because my experience for the most part up until now is that there's a lot of people with, we'll say all kinds of things and who knows what. And I always try to be honest and realistic and grounded. So I'm not a prophet. I am not a psychic. I'm not a channeler. I share with you things that I've learned. In fact, what I'm going to start doing now, I'm going to do this, I'm going to end with this. When I've gone into higher dimensions and I have powerful experiences, very often I will come back and write notes about it, because if I don't, I end up forgetting as I get back into my 3D. So what I'm going to start doing in videos is I'm just going to share with you these stories. I shared a lot with you in the last live video we did, but here's one. It's entitled "Vasuki Takes Me to the Underworld." So I'm just going to read the notes that I put in here. Let's see, do I have a date for this? I don't know when this was. This was, August 16th. Does that make sense? Okay. August 16th. For some reason I feel like I wrote this earlier. Maybe it's... Anyway. So, Vasuki takes me to the underworld. And in interdimensional meditation, I was taken to the lowest world, where all of the dimensions, timelines, and worlds intersected. It looked like a like an egg. So the energy was up here like this, and it came down, and then at the bottom it intersected. I was taken to the lowest world where all of the dimensions, timelines, and worlds intersected. A huge snake was there and explained to me how all of the dimensions are rooted in the underworld. So the underworld is one place, but all of the different dimensions, up to the 12th dimension and all of that, branches out from the underworld. He said he was Vasuki, and he was the architect of all of the worlds and master of them. I was Shiva, and he served me. I was Lord of all creation. Vasuki explained that Rahu and Ketu, this is the north and south node of the moon in Vedic astrology. Vasuki explained that Rahu and Ketu are not real beings, they are reflections. People in 3D are fooled into believing that these reflections are actively doing something to them. But Vasuki said Rahu and Ketu are refractions that occur like lens flares in the third dimension. So you don't see it a lot now, but like in 1970s film, it was very common. In fact, they would do it on purpose because it created a cool effect. And when they would pan the camera, the sun would come in, and then you'd see like these, little suns refracting. So it's an artifact in the lens. A lot of people think they're seeing light beings and stuff like that, when really what's happening is it's called an artifact. It's a light reflection inside of the lenses. So Vasuki explained that Rahu and Ketu are not real beings, they are reflections. People in 3D are fooled into believing that these reflections are actively doing something to them, but Vasuki said Rahu and Ketu are refractions that occur like lens flares in the third dimension. By emerging with him and becoming a Naga, I can be beyond all of the ego dramas of the third dimension. As Shiva's ornament, Vasuki can protect me from attachment to 3D dramas. Vasuki's world was like the bottom tip of an egg where all the dimensions began. Then I spoke with Tarhunt, the ancient sky god, who lived at the top of the egg where all of the dimensions came together at the top of the, quote, sky, unquote. From his perspective, Tarhunt saw above all of the dimensions. Vasuki saw them from the base, and Tarhunt saw them from the top. Tarhunt empowered the Nagas with his lightning. The Nagas received the lightning and sent it up the spine as Kundalini awareness. As Shiva, I had access to Vasuki as my ornament, and to Tarhunt, and access to Tarhunt as I am his son. Shiva has access to both the top world and the bottom world, and as a result is Lord of all. In meditation, in my throne in the 5D world, I was given a name. It was called Jakara. I've since looked that up, and it turns out, if I remember correctly, there is an Australian Aboriginal word called Jakara. I might be wrong about that. It's been a while, but it's also in other, and it has a really cool meaning. I can't remember what it is right now. So I wrote here Jakara because that's my 5D throne world. In Jakara, where my throne connects to all dimensions, Vasuki in the lower world empowers my meditations, and Tarhunt in the upper world sends power down to me from the heavens. And as I sit on my throne and channel the dimensional energies, I am empowered from both top and bottom, from Vasuki at the bottom and Tarhunt at the top. So that's just one of my things. I'll continue to share these things. I have a desire to be completely transparent. I don't want to hold on to any of these crazy things anymore. It's been my ego that I've been holding back because I didn't want to look like I was trying to be a cult leader or anything like that. But since I'm not the only person that's having these kinds of really fantastical experiences, I'm sharing it with you because it's educational, as well as giving you the right in your meditations to allow yourself to go there and allow yourself to accept all of those amazing things that they're going to start telling you who you are, your higher dimensional self, awakening to your star seed identity, which is beyond all of your incarnated lives, goes beyond your incarnations on planet Earth and any other planets that you've been on. It goes beyond all of that. You are above that, this new dimension, and maybe humans get to be the first. We'll find out, but to be fully incarnated and at the same time fully conscious of your higher dimensional selves. This is something that I'm expecting, and I think all the human race is working towards. Those that will go to the highest levels. My understanding, there will be three what's that word? Three different levels, octaves. There's going to be 3 octaves of the Earth frequency. I'm getting so much energy, it's hard to focus. There will be 3 octaves of the Earth frequency, and so and we call the upper one 5D. I don't know if it will be the actual 5th dimension or not. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. So that's what I'm working towards, and I think that if you're watching this, you are also working towards that as well. Anybody can. All you have to do is just decide that's what you want, and you can have that. All right, I'm babbling, but that's it, my friends. I will stay in touch with you, and feel free to write in the comments the experiences that you've been having. If you've been doing interdimensional meditation, write in the comments the things that you've experienced in the guided meditations and in your own personal interdimensional meditations. What you've seen, what you've been told, what you've been shown, what you're going through, share that. And anybody, if you're looking to connect with a group of people, there's the live Zoom class and discussion group. If you go to thunderwizard.com and subscribe at that level, you can subscribe at the discussion group level, and there's 2 levels. You can be an apprentice of mine, which means you work with me directly, one-on-one, once a month, and you can be in the live Zoom class. Or if you just want to be part of the live Zoom class, you can subscribe at that level as well. And it's a place where we all get together and we talk about our experiences, and it's very empowering. So I invite you to that. It's time for us to start coming together. Anyway, that's it, my friends. Please know you're the most powerful being that has ever existed. The entire universe has been created solely for your personal enjoyment, and that when you live your life solely to experience the joy within your heart and to do only that which gives your soul pleasure, you expand in awareness, and all other conscious beings evolve, and the gods themselves bow down before you and worship you, as do I. I thank you for creating me and creating this universe and allowing me to live in it. I will see you all very soon. Please take very good care of yourselves.